Day 22 of Orgasmic Yoga. So yesterday my period came after my first client. So I don't know whether you noticed that I've been looking tired the last 2 days after the Christmas party. So after the party, I had a full day of workshop, which was from 9 to 5. And then the next day, yesterday, I had a full day of clients. So I was feeling really tired, and I knew why I was tired, not just because of the rest, but because my period was coming. So when my period came after my first client, I was kind of relieved because I was expecting it, and usually after my period comes, I just take it easy for 1 or 2 days, and then I'm right up back there in terms of my energy. So also before my period, my face would break out, and after my period, my face would glow. So I'm looking forward to you being able to see the glow in my face. Anyway, yesterday, because I was first day of my period, I was feeling just kind of like I wanted to keep my energy in, and I decided not to do any kind of penetration. I used my vibrator Touch Me by Nomi Tang. I didn't put a condom over it. What I did was I instead put it at the base of my spine, and I allowed the vibration to carry through along my spine, because I was actually feeling a lot of lower back ache, and so that's what I did. Previously what I did was when I did it along my spine, I just kind of moved it up and down gently, but this time I really dug it into my spine because I was feeling aching, and then also a little bit around the back of my neck. But I was lying on my side when I did all this, and so I also reached around and I focused on my clitoral area. So after about 30 minutes, I turned it off, and I was able to feel my body undulating, and I felt the energy spreading to the rest of my body. And so then I went into stillness, and I just lied there and enjoyed the sensation. And so that's day 22 of Orgasmic Yoga, and this is my last week, yeah! So I'm really happy that I've stuck through it, and I will continue until day 30. So I hope to see you tomorrow. Day 23 of Orgasmic Yoga. So I have 1 more week to this practice ending. And yesterday was the second day of my period, and I actually had 2 networking events to attend. So the first one I had to show up a little bit more and talk more a little bit about myself, but the second one I just didn't bother, because I was just wanting to keep the energy to myself, and I was just really feeling just a little bit worn out. So when I came back at 12 midnight, did my practice, and I used my sex toy Leaf Vitality. Just like yesterday, I didn't feel like doing any kind of penetration, even though I could, because I did notice that there was very little blood left. So what I did was I turned both leaves on, and I left one of them, can't remember which one, on my clitoris, and allowed the energy to just build in my body. And also I alternated with moving it to the back of my body, to my spine, and I felt that I was still feeling a lot of lower body tension, tiredness, exhaustion, just maybe because of my period. So what was interesting this time, today, was I realized that a lot of the energy was not moving to my upper body, my lower body, especially down to my feet. That was very interesting for me, because the energy always moves outwards, and this time it was moving downwards. So I don't know why that was happening. I don't want to psychoanalyze and become hyper-vigilant about every single thing, but that was just what I noticed. I noticed the energy was moving to my feet, and I felt a little bit of kind of a buzz in my toes even. So that was interesting. And then I went into stillness, and I did feel the orgasmic energy running through my body, including to my upper part of my body. And so I just enjoyed the sensation for what it was, and already today I feel I have more energy, and so I'm just glad that I survived another period. So it's not that when women have period they are useless or they don't want to be with people. Their energy is just much more inward. They just want to go inward and just be more private, and that's the time to just slow down. It's very nice when you have the time to do that, and I was able to do that with my practice. So it would be so great if women could time and honor this time of the month, their cycle, with the activity that they have, rather than keep pushing themselves to do things that they don't really want to be doing. and that can change when we're having our periods. So that's just my little bit of sharing about my period, and I'm just enjoying it for what it is, my period and the rest of it, and I'm just enjoying knowing that I'm going to feel a surge of energy coming back from tomorrow onwards, I hope. So anyway, this is day 23 of Orgasmic Yoga. Day 24 of Orgasmic Yoga. 6 more days. So when I started this journey, I knew I would finish this 30 days because I know myself and I know I honor my contract with myself. But I was actually very wary and hesitant about sharing my journey publicly online. And it has been worth it because there have been people who have asked questions about Orgasmic Yoga, about masturbation, and that dialogue itself is totally useful for them. However, I cannot answer everybody with all their questions. I hope that you can be patient and wait for all 30 days to be over. And what I'll be doing, I'll be putting out there some ideas I have about how you can do your Orgasmic Yoga. So, today is day 24, and because I'm having the 3rd day of my period, I didn't feel like having any kind of penetration. And you can already see that I'm looking and feeling much better. My energy is returning. I'm not feeling so run down. I'm not feeling so tired. And so today I thought I would have an energy orgasm. I did it at 12 midnight. So the moment I start thinking energy orgasm, how can I do it differently? How would it be if the energy just moved immediately to my 3rd eye? It happened just like that. You see what happens with Orgasmic Yoga, because you've been masturbating for 30 minutes almost every day, right? By now, I'm on day 24. The energy actually gets built up and stored in your body. So I do notice previous times when I did Orgasmic Yoga, my body becomes much more sensitized and much more sensitive. So what happens is the moment I think it starts happening. So I wasn't surprised that this morning when I thought energy orgasm, see if the energy can move from my base chakras immediately to my 3rd eye, it started happening just like that. My body started undulating, I started laughing, and then I started to breathe because because it was small, right? So I was just like, is what I feel is happening really happening, you know, that kind of thing. And so then I started to breathe, and then it became bigger. I started laughing at myself. That's what happened. And then when the energy started trickling to like smaller, I went and did my practice. So what I did was I started to do some pelvic floor exercises, and then through my intention and also by putting my hands where I wanted the energy to be, I then visualized the energy moving through the different chakras and then moving it slowly upwards. So this time, unlike the other energy orgasm that I did, I wasn't pushing myself, I wasn't trying very hard, I wasn't trying to make it big or strong. I was just happy when I noticed it moving. So it was very, very small, and it was very nice. And then it ended with me feeling the energy reaching my crown chakras, and then I just rest, I just lie there and just enjoyed the energy. So that's what I did for day 24. So tomorrow is day 25. Very, very close to ending this whole practice. Looking forward to it actually. So I'll see you tomorrow. Day 25 of Orgasmic Yoga. 5 more days. So I masturbated at 12 midnight. I used my sex toy Touch Me, my Nomi Tang, and I put a condom over it. I turned it on, and then I inserted it slowly into my vagina. This time, I am in doggy style position. So my head was on the bed, and I had my bolster lying cross-section against my stomach, and then I was kneeling and using my sex toy to do penetration. So it felt really nice, it felt intense. With this toy you can actually adjust different vibrations because it felt intense. So I also used it, I put it out and also used it to stimulate my clitoris, and then slowly, mindfully moving it back and forth in and out my vagina, and also along my clitoris and back into my vagina. So I did have orgasm, and at maybe about the 25th minute or so, I turned the vibrator off and just lied on the bed and just noticed what I was feeling. And again, my body was undulating and I felt waves of orgasm in my body. So this morning, when I woke up at around 8:30, I also masturbated and I had 2 orgasms. So it's nice. Maybe it's a build-up of energy from 12 midnight. After having a good night's sleep, decided to have bigger orgasms. So I masturbated the way I usually do, which is with my blanket between my thighs, rubbing, and then was able to get my 2 orgasms very easily. So this is day 25 of Orgasmic Yoga. Day 26 of Orgasmic Yoga. Today I masturbated in the study room, this time sitting up, and I was using my hands to stimulate my clitoris over my underwear. So I tried doing different things, tried rubbing it, pressing on it, tracing the outline, stroking it, and the one that worked the best was stroking on it very, very gently and allowing the sensation to just run from my genitals to the rest of my body. So that felt the nicest for me when I was exploring my body. And it does feel different on different days, and also because I've been stimulating myself a lot the last few weeks, so I don't really need a lot of stimulation to get that kind of effect. And also, if anything, probably a little bit overstimulated right now, but that's fine, that's fine. What you can do is just go slower. So a lot of men, what they tend to do to their partners is they tend to go harder, faster, stronger in order to try very hard to almost like force her to have an orgasm. And actually that can work the opposite way. It can turn her off. His pressure can actually transfer to her and she can feel it. So actually what can go better with triggering arousal for a woman is actually going softer, slower, without any kind of expectation. So when the guy is actually relaxed, it allows for the woman to relax. And actually it's the opposite for women. Slower, softer pressure and touch actually works better for women. So with that, this is day 26 and I'll see you tomorrow. Day 27 of Orgasmic Yoga. I don't have my makeup on and my hair's not wet because I'm waiting for my makeup artist to come. For the next 2 days, today and tomorrow, I'll be doing some filming, and it's now 7:30, so in half an hour she'll be here. So today at 12 midnight, what I did was I used both sex toys. I first turned on this Live Vitality. I put it between my legs on my clitoris, and I wanted to do something different every day, right? So I did that, and then with the second sex toy, I turned it on and then I left it on my throat with the intention of helping to integrate and align my entire being, my throat, my expression, and my genitals, which is a big part of my physical body and big part of my sexuality and big part of what I'm doing the filming around today and tomorrow. So I gave the intent to align my entire body, especially these 2 parts, and then I decided to just leave this toy on my heart for the entire duration instead, focusing on aligning my heart, which is a big part of my work, and with my physical body and with my sexuality. So it just felt nice doing that. And then next, what I did was I used the Live Vitality and I moved it alongside my body with the intent of moving the energy through, because this toy doesn't have any volume control, so it was very, very gentle. And at some point I just wanted to feel what this sex toy felt like on different parts of my body, and for some reason I started to use it along my face, and I just liked feeling the buzz around my face, and it just was like a face massage. And then I also moved it to my crown chakras, and it all just felt really, really nice. And I was laughing at some parts because I don't think anyone would imagine like what to do with a sex toy, and for me to ever say, oh, I used it for a face massage. So that, you know, as long as it feels good, Oh yeah, so also at some point I actually used the toy to trace the outline of my ear and also inside my ear just to feel how it feels like. So there's like this buzz next to my ear. So I was just playing, I was just having fun, right? So after around 30 minutes, I turned both sex toys off and I just lied there and enjoyed the afterglow. So I don't know whether you see any afterglow today. So this is day 27, 3 more days. Day 28 of Orgasmic Yoga. So this is me with my makeup. It is now 9:30 and Jolene has just done my makeup for me. So I wanted you to have the look of me without makeup yesterday and the one with proper professional makeup. So this morning I actually masturbated at 12 midnight and I was sitting cross-legged, sitting in some other place of the house, and I was using my vibrator, Leaf Vitality, once again. So I turned it on and I placed it around my clitoral area. So not on my clitoris but around it for some time and then directly on my clitoris. So I did this for about 30 minutes and after that I turned it off and I did experience different sensations. I had energy running through my body. This time it just felt different because I was doing my practice at a different part of the house and sitting upright and cross-legged. So this is day 28 of Orgasmic Yoga. 2 more days. Day 29 of Orgasmic Yoga. I masturbated at 12 midnight, sitting in the study room in front of my laptop, and I was just waiting for some files to be processed, so I wasn't really doing much. So I used both toys, Touch Me by Nomitang and Leaf Vitality, 2 toys that you should be familiar with by now. So I used Touch Me by Nomitang, the stronger one, on the outer lid of my vulva over my clothes, and Leaf Vitality on the right side over my clothes. So both vibrators, not touching my clitoris, but the sensation, because it's a very small area, very near, and the sex toy was vibrating strong vibrations. So I could feel the sensation on my entire area and I felt like peeing a number of times. So that's a sign it was intense and stimulating my G-spot. So after about 30 minutes I turned it off and I could feel orgasmic within my body. So I didn't have any orgasm yesterday and I really didn't want to because I had a very long day, and during the filming yesterday one of the things that we did was film myself having an energy orgasm. So I did feel that I was happy yesterday. So day 29 of Orgasmic Yoga, and tomorrow is the last day. So am I beginning to look different? Day 30 of Orgasmic Yoga. Today is the last day. I wanted to use my sex toy Leaf Vitality to masturbate at 12 midnight, but it ran out of battery. So I used my sex toy Touch Me by Nomitang instead. So I was lying on my bed on my side, and over my underwear I used my sex toy and I placed it on my anus over my underwear. And I wanted to masturbate differently every day, and I think I've accomplished that. So in focusing on my anus, it feels really nice because it releases a lot of lower back tension and also tension around the anus. So almost a few seconds after I started focusing on relaxing and getting my anus vibrated, I felt myself farting a little bit. So recently I read a book, it was very interesting. It's called What's My Pee Telling Me? And in that book it says that we actually fart every day about 8 to 14 times, and we don't even realize it's happening sometimes because we might be sleeping as it's happening and our body is relaxed. So that was fascinating for me, and so I wanted to be more in touch with my anus. And in fact I have gone for some training where I learned how to do vulvar, penile and anal massage. So our anus is a big part of who we are and our well-being, and being comfortable in our anus and relaxed in our anus actually goes a long way towards making the rest of our body relaxed. So this might be a bit too much information than you would like, but for the last day of Orgasmic Yoga, that's what I did. I did my practice focusing on my anus. I did stimulate a little bit of my clitoris and also my butt, but mainly my anus. So afterwards I turned it off and I felt orgasmic energy running through my body. And so that's day 30 of Orgasmic Yoga. So I'm very, very grateful at this point. I just wanted to take a few minutes to share. I'm very grateful for all the support that I have been receiving from my friends, from complete strangers, people who are curious about orgasms and orgasmic yoga and what they can do to start a practice by themselves. Even men asking me whether it's possible for them to have orgasmic yoga. In fact, the practice is completely safe and suitable for men and women. It's just that when men ejaculate, they will feel tired, so they don't have to ejaculate every day for orgasmic yoga. In fact, it's not advisable, but they can if they want to. They just be very tired. It might be good for men who are used to having erections and therefore ejaculations, as if it's one and the same thing. Or since I have an erection, I might as well ejaculate. So if they did orgasmic yoga, then by being very, very mindful of the energies in their body, they could actually learn how to notice and control their ejaculation and get separation in their heads that erection and ejaculation doesn't have to be the same thing, and that they could be much more mindful with their erotic energy. So right now what I have is I'm interested to support people who would like to do their orgasmic yoga if they are interested to start a practice, whether it is 3 days, 7 days, 10 days, 14 days, 15 days, 1 month. It is entirely possible. So what I suggest is I have created a little online survey, and you can fill it up, and I will be looking at and replying to every single one of the persons who express any kind of interest, whether you want private coaching, whether you want to have a support group formed. What kind of support group would it be? Is it all men, all women? Would you prefer a mixed group? Would you prefer to work with me by email instead or by Skype? That's entirely up to you. I'm just leaving it completely open rather than offering options and then people just, that doesn't work for me and not sign up. I keep it completely open. I want to hear from you what would work for you and the ways in which is best for you. And then we see how it goes. Let's have a conversation going. So when I started this orgasmic yoga practice for the last 30 days, I started noticing a difference within my body after 3 days. And I was going through all the pictures because I really wanted to see a difference, and I noticed that was around the time I started to feel and see that my complexion was just a bit different. Yes, I know I have acne. Yes, I know my skin breaks out and my complexion is not perfect. I know all this, and these are things that I'm working on, my diet and exercise and all these things. But in the practice itself, in looking through all my own photos, I started to see a shift within 3 or 5 days, you know. So go through the pictures for yourself and see whether you notice that my skin is actually a little bit brighter. And it's not just because of the makeup or the lighting. Really look at it, because I've tried to keep the makeup. Okay, I know some days I wasn't with makeup, but only 2 days that I didn't have makeup. But rest of the days I was having makeup. I was trying to film in the same environment and keep the conditions as similar as possible. So I think it's a fair gauge of whether I do begin to look different with orgasmic yoga, because I feel different. But how can I show it to you unless just through photos showing you how I look different? So with that, I conclude all 30 days of orgasmic yoga, and it really calls for a celebration. It's very important to mark every little achievement we have, every little milestone we have with a celebration. So how am I going to celebrate the end of my 30 days of orgasmic yoga? I know I'll have another orgasm. So see ya.